let's check out this other trailer and come back and talk with the director after this.
Trinidad is the land of Calypso. That's the place to know, yes. Trinidad and Tobago is the land of Calypso. That's the place to know. Trinidad
At 6 p.m. this afternoon, the government of Trinidad and Tobago was overthrown.
To repeat, the Imam Abu Bakr wants you to know that the police headquarters in downtown Port of Spain has been gutted by fire.
A very fitting documentary for this week, which commemorates the coup July 27, 1990. And our next guest is filmmaker Karen Martinez. Good morning, who joins us via Skype. Good morning, Karen.
Hi, morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here this morning on the Now Morning Show. And your film, which is going to be showing as part of our Live for Local series here on Wednesday, 24th July, really it looks at the July 27th coup 1990 through the eyes of Calypso. Explain it for me.
Yeah, well, it was, I mean, I had been in Trinidad and I came back to London just before the coup happened.
Yes.
And so this whole thing happened, and it was in the news and in Britain and around the world and whatever. And then suddenly it disappeared. You know, it was no longer a news story. And so I was looking at, you know, what had really happened, and being far away, I kind of wanted to know a bit more. And I found that I was getting a lot of like reports on what had actually happened, but I wasn't getting any analysis, like why it had happened, and just going a little bit deeper. And so as a filmmaker, I felt I wanted to do a film that was about this really important part of our history, which wasn't history at the time, it was kind of happening. And I wanted to do it through the eyes of a filmmaker and use forms that were part of Trinidad culture, like Kaiso and whatever, so that the Kaiso could be the way of telling the story, but filmically as well as musically.
Yeah, and so which Calypsos or Calypsonians are we telling the story through? Who would have been featured in this film?
Yeah, lots of different ones. Crow, who I filmed on the streets of Port of Spain when it was still, you know, all kind of broken down and in ruins and whatever, and people were setting up, vendors were setting up little vegetable stores and selling things amongst the rubble, which I thought was like a really telling things in the way that we try and build out of the ruin. You kind of come out of it and still flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And I had him playing his Calypso there, and then he spoke to camera as well about it. I had Brian Honoré, who was then, he played a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a kind of night robber, but a dragon mask. And he was in Woodford Square, and he talked about the IMF and the World Bank and those issues that had affected what was happening in the country at the time before the coup happened. And Crow was looking at how the coup was a bad idea, but it was, maybe you could see why it had happened.
Yeah.
You know, so it was trying to use different forms to analyze something that was in the news and not just present it as fact or some, you know.
Very novel way of integrating the creative expression with analysis, I would say. What was the response like? Because I know the film has toured pretty much internationally since it debuted in 1992. Tell us about the journey of the film.
Yeah, well, it was commissioned by Channel 4. I went in to them, and in those days it was very easy as a sort of fresh young producer to kind of go in there and speak to somebody, and they'd say they liked your idea and then commission it for national TV. It's not really the same anymore, but anyway, so it was commissioned. It was part of a series called South, where they were using the voice of filmmakers from the South, you know, the North World and the South World. They were using the voices of filmmakers from the South to tell the stories that were happening there. So it wasn't, they were trying to break the mold of what had been happening before, film crews going out to foreign countries and covering stories and whatever. It was a kind of early form, I suppose, of like citizen journalism.
Right.
But we were filmmakers more than journalists, so that's certainly how I saw myself.
Right.
And so it showed on Channel 4, but then the whole series South traveled around to all the countries that had been part of that series. So it went, to India, it went to Madagascar, it went
Wow.
to Thailand, everywhere.
Australia, I
And
believe, as well.
yeah. So
Mhm.
it was, and then the film itself has also been seen by lots of people who've discussed it online and so on as well. But yeah, it's traveled well, and I'm really pleased that it's like, because it's the anniversary again, because I made it as a response to the coup 1 year after the coup, so it was a kind of on the anniversary of the coup as well,
Yeah.
and so it's really good that it's part of this anniversary too.
Yeah, and I think it's a very important film. Absolutely, having been any documentary or any film that's made within the moment tends to be an important part of history as well. But you are an
Yeah.
important part of our cultural landscape because you were part of Banyan and Gael.
Exactly, yeah. So that is, I mean, I went to film school,
Yeah.
and then I came back and I worked at Banyan. We did Gael, we did lots of other things, but kind of traveled around the country. So cut my teeth really
Yeah.
with Banyan and making Gael,
Yes.
which was really exciting. Which actually meant that once I came to film Kaiso for July 27th. I had a lot of connections already with some of the people I was talking to, some of the Calypsonians,
Right.
and that sort of thing. And then I worked through the offices of Banyan, even though it was commissioned by Channel 4. And, I believe Georgia Popplewell worked on it. I had a Trinidadian composer, Dominique Legendre, who did the music for it.
Yeah.
So I sort of tried to pull together all of those things. But yeah, but it was, I have to give credit where it's due. Banyan and Gael is where I cut my teeth, and they were really influential in what I produced afterwards.
Well, we got to leave it there, Karen, but I'm very excited to look at your film this Wednesday, 24th of July, part of the 8 p.m. Little Flick series here on TTT, Live for Local.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for joining. Where are you actually right now?
So I'm actually in Spain at the moment. I
Ah,
was doing working on a short film.
Buenos dias.
Yes.
Hi, so you're so international. Can't keep up with you.
The only thing I would say about the film as well is that it's meant to be, I didn't want to be didactic. I didn't want to say what my opinion was necessarily.
Yes.
I wanted people to ask questions, and so people might have different views about what comes out of the film, because it represents lots of different views, and I hope that's what it does. It gets people sort of talking and thinking what their opinion on it is. But
All right.
yeah, I hope
Okay.
everybody enjoys it tomorrow night.
Yes, on TTT, but actually it's tonight. Today's Wednesday, yes? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tomorrow night.
Yep.
Tomorrow night. Today is Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Today's
Wednesday. Yeah,
what is the day? It just feels like one day flowing into the other, right, Carrie?
Well, you barely sleep because you're
I
always
know,
on the
my
clock.
days just float one into the other. What is today, guys? Today is Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Right, today is Wednesday, the 24th of July, which means you have to tune in tonight at 8 o'clock to see our lovely film series, Little Flicks, including, of course, our Live for Local, Kaiso for July 27th by Karen Martinez.